Thank you for watching again. Yin Yang Gemini, John talking. Today, on this part at least, I'm talking about my first impressions from the television show of Preacher. Again, a comic that I have read and enjoyed. I've read through the whole run several times. And I do understand that there is going to be a difference between shows and their source material. But there's a lot of stuff I don't understand the changes for. One of the main things that I don't understand why Tulip is all, we gotta give this strong female character act like a guy bullshit that we always have to do. So she's, the hard drinking, almost kind of swearing best you can on AMC, sort of thief, wild child, blowing shit up sort of chick and everything like that. That's not the way she was in the comic. And I'm not even talking about the fact that they have Ruth Negga for her. That's fine. I'm sure she could do either version, the actual Tulip from the comic or the weird sort of amalgam, sort of male fantasy heist chick that we got with the show. I don't know why they went with that. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Part of the cool thing with Jesse and their relationship is, she was sort of strong and independent and didn't want him like looking out for her and everything like that, but he was still sort of very old school kind of guyish and was trying to do his best to look out for her, which informed a lot of his decisions in this. I don't know how that relationship's going to go because all she's been trying to do is get him to help her with some sort of criminal activity that might maybe have some sort of vengeance thing for it. I've only watched the first 2 episodes and have been bored to tears the whole time. Maybe I should have led with that, but I'm a couple minutes in now. I'm good. So yeah, I've just been bored. It's a boring show. They just, it was like, all right, we need someone skinny, weird looking, who can do an Irish accent. And all right, okay, good, you're Cassidy. He's boring. The way they have Jesse going with trying to do all this stuff and, oh, I am going to actually save you sort of thing. It's boring. It's not that I don't think Dominic Cooper is capable of being more sort of like, I don't know, having a pair or a spine. I mean, he seems to kind of at least get the general vibe of when Jesse's got to turn on the badass, but it's just boring. I don't know, like I looked up on IMDb, there's no listing for Hair Star whatsoever, so I don't know how the hell they're going to do this show. And I noticed that the listing for, even though there's some interviews that call the Saint of Killers on IMDb, they call him the Cowboy, which tells me kind of where their mind is at anyway, too. Interesting casting for a Saint of Killers. Don't know if I would have went with the Dougal from Outlander, Dwalin from The Hobbit guy, but maybe it'll look alright. He's kind of got that scowling sort of thing, and I'm sure he can get a good accent for him. But if they're calling him the Cowboy, it sounds like they're not really going to get involved with his whole sort of thing, too. I can't imagine so far just calling him that they're going to have a shot with him shooting God and sitting on the throne of heaven, like in the comic. I had a bad feeling about this show when I heard it was going to come to AMC. I see Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon's name and executive producers, but you know what? Last couple seasons, they still have George R. R. Martin, of executive producer of Game of Thrones. We see how well that's going. I'm not sorry. The show's turned into a massive piece of fucking shit. But I digressed a little bit and trying to get back on track. But yeah, I don't care. There's been a couple times I've kind of gone, that's about as extent of the humor part of it. And honestly, the fighting part of it's kind of, whatever. I've previously mentioned I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Tulip, why that's got to be a thing, the way they have it, and her blowing up helicopters with what are those, potato guns or whatever found object crap that she was doing at some kid's house in Kansas. Whatever. I'm really hoping that the rest of the show kind of gets explained. I'm getting mixed signals back from people I know who have been watching it. One or two people who I don't think read the comic said, no, it keeps getting better, keeps getting better. Don't think about the comic, just watch the show. I know other people who I don't think have read the comic, but have the same response I do, where they're just bored. They don't really understand where anything's going, why anyone's doing anything. It's just sort of a jumbled mess of, okay, well, we want to make him badass, we want everything to look kind of depressed and kind of murky, but he still wants to have a good heart. And, oh yeah, there's going to be some other stuff and maybe some angels and sawing a guy up and chainsaw vampire asshole. Sorry, what? It really feels like that's the way the show is going. I don't get it. I've not been entertained above the sort of once or twice. So, again, first impressions, I'm not really mad at it. Not that I really get mad at the stuff, but I'm not really like, I don't know, I'm just not getting any sort of emotional response from it. I'm not even like really annoyed with it. I think because I like the comic enough that I'd be annoyed that I'm bored with the show of a comic I like, but I'm not. It's just so just sort of soul sucking that it just kind of just leaves me go kind of, whatever, don't care. So I'll keep going a few more episodes in, and as usual, if it gets really good and I want to say, oh no, okay, just stick with it, and I'll do that. If it gets really bad, then I'll be like, no, seriously, you know how I was saying it was boring before? It got worse. If it just kind of stays boring, this is probably going to be the only thing I post on, because what's the point of just rehashing for any amount of time shit I've already said? So, on that note, I can't even rant about it. I can't even just go off and nitpick sort of stuff and be like, no, this one thing was really bad and that one thing, except for like the tulip thing and just like the just boring shit poor writing and sort of the show so far after a couple of episodes. Can't really pick much apart. There's really nothing there to pick apart. It's just sort of there. It's just sort of this orangey, sometimes bluey there. So I'm hoping it gets better because I like the comic. Yeah, that's all I got on that. So, first impressions for the Preacher television show. Really, I'm just biding time until American Gods comes out. That's pretty much it. I love the book. I just reread it. And I'm really looking forward to that. And so, I'll give Star Wars and Marvel and Disney and everyone credit for getting me back into thinking things are going to be cool. Jurassic Park, I didn't think Jurassic World was going to be very good. I didn't think Force Awakens was going to be good. I was very, very glad to be wrong on both occasions. Rogue One was amazing. Pretty much anything that the rest of those Marvel or Lucasfilm is going to do for Disney, I'm like, all right, cool. Except for some of the TV stuff, Iron Fist looks a little... but the rest of it looks fun. So, I have a new... I'm not going to say that. I have a renewed enthusiasm for some stuff that I like in their film and television translations. Preacher is not looking like one of them. So, that's just my first impression. Please do the usual, like and subscribe, blah, 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 blah. And I will see you next time.